Bum, 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 bum. Big Mama. Oh, was here. Share my screen. What's up, Ethan? What is up? Oh, one sec. I'm missing my tablet. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Gabby DeMarco. What's up, dude? Gabby, you want to come up? Come to the stage. I'll help you out with your question. How am I, Gold? I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Big Mama wants to come up. You can come up too. All come up. Everyone come up. Come on up. Glasses. Can't see anything. All right, let's do it. Yes, noise.
That's dope.
Yes, bro. Love it. I was actually looking, cause like I stream. Actually, someone was asking me. Someone wanted a picture of like my setup or something at some point. I remember someone wanted. Second. I can find a photo of it. It was computer monitors. No, that's not it. Where's my setup? Where's my setup? Where's my setup? There we go. Someone was asking me like what my setup looks like. All right, why is this not loading? Come on, there we go. Anyways, yeah, this here. I'll put on the Discord. Oh man, the browser not working today.
That's dope. There we. Yeah. No. There we go. I hit the wrong thing on my USB. Sorry. No mic. Yeah. No. Sorry. Yeah. My
I was trying to like switch something else on one of my USB things. I hit the wrong one. There's the mic.
That's dope.
Lovely. Yes. Someone was asking me about my setup. Yeah, this is my setup. This is how I do everything. But as you can see, there's kind of like a mess of cords and everything going on. So every once in a while, I'll hit like the wrong shit or something, and it'll like fuck everything up. Anyways, okay, cool. All right. What's up? Ramit's here too. Cool. Gabby, you want to come up? You want to come up the stage? We can do your question, and then Noise. We're gonna do your question first here. Let me pull it up. Was it did he post it in the screenshots? He did, right, Ramit?
Yeah, it's like
This one,
a
right?
few questions up, I think.
Oh, wait, no, it's not this one. My bad. No, that's someone else's. This one. He says your move, dude.
More vectors fun.
I got it. More vectors fun, dude. We're gonna do some more vectors fun, dude. Yeah, we're gonna do some more vectors fun. Mondo, we're gonna play some Warzone after this in like 55 minutes. If you want to play. I heard you've been playing with Mancy a bit. I'm glad the king is back. King is back. We all like the vectors. We really do, man. We really do. We do. Okay. Ramit, do you want to log in so I can grant you like the ability to write on this and whatnot?
Log in where, like on Twitch? Or...
No, on the writing stuff. He says I won't be around anymore. Mondo says. What do you mean? Like you won't be around here in life, or like just for today? That's okay if you're not here just for today. But I hope you stay around, like in the world. Yeah, here, Ramit. I'll send you the link again. You're grinding Orion for David. What's Orion? What is Orion? Mondo. Just tonight, lol. Oh, just tonight. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I was worried for a second. There you go. That's. Oh, it's the final mastery camo in Modern Warfare 2. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let me see what that is. It was called Orion Camo Warzone 2. What is that? Is it like purple or something? Oh, it literally looks like a looks like a galaxy. Oh, that's sick.
That's dope.
I love Noise is like, now remember kids, a plane is defined by a point and two non-parallel vectors. Oh, that's a sick camo. Cool. All right. Back. Okay. Let me grant you presenter.
Yeah,
so
I'm
you're
logged
good.
in right now, so.
Good. You're good. So you can write. Here, let me stop the stream for everyone real quick. All right. Welcome everyone, Office Hours. My name is Dr. Gold. This is the stream that helps you out with your math homework, science homework, all types of fun stuff. Noise says nice camo. Noise, do you play any games? Do you play any video games? Mono says nor enjoy multiplayer. Yeah, multiplayer's okay. I don't know. I prefer to play with all the kids, and they can only play the free ones. So I that's why I play mostly Warzone or Resurgence these days, which is good. Okay, cool. Noise says I'm Diamond 5 support on Overwatch. I also play Escape from Tarkov. That's it. I do more math than video games. That's cool. I've bought Escape from Tarkov, I think I have it. I've definitely bought it for someone else. I've never played it. I've heard it's like very intense, like very difficult. Like you can like bleed out in the game very easily or something. And I'm just like, ugh. Overwatch, I've played a little bit. I do enjoy it. It's a fun team game. Occasionally DBD. What is DBD? DBD? What's it? Dead? Or D&D? Do you mean D&D? Like Dungeons and Dragons?
I think you mean Dead by Daylight. Or something like that.
Oh, I don't know that one. That's a cool
Dead
game.
by Daylight? Yeah, it's
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, it's like
What is it? What is it like, Raymond? What is it?
it's like a bunch of people will get into like this map, and then there's one person who has to like follow everyone around and kill them, and the rest of the people have to try and get out.
Okay, so it's like Among Us, but like hardcore.
Yeah, I haven't played a lot of Among Us, but yeah, it's like nice. And then like, when someone gets captured, you can go like set them free, and then everyone has to like do a bunch of
like tasks or something, missions to
have
try
to,
and get
like-
out. I really liked.
yeah, I
well,
think they have to like plan something.
I see. I liked. What was that game that everyone liked? Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead was fun. A good one. I think they made a kind of a sequel to it, right? Yes, and Tarkov takes 1,000 hours to scratch the surface. I've heard this. I've heard like Tarkov is like this, and so is Rust. Apparently, Rust is apparently very difficult. Like you start off as a naked person, and you have to like make fire. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have that much time to like play that game. It's a lot of time. Time is like the one thing I don't really have. Trying to get more about. But okay, cool. All right, Gabby's gonna say this. One sec. All right. Ramit, you want to take over? And can you write on this? Can you see? You see how this works?
Yeah, I think I can write.
Yeah, cool. Let's see. We got a lawn modeled as a plane that contains the points L, M, and N, and is relative to a fixed origin. Determine a vector equation of the plane that models the lawn and give your equation form in that. Oh, I kind of like this one. This is a fun one.
Did you want me to like kind of interact back and forth with?
Yeah,
Noise
yeah. Try it
then?
out. Yeah. Try talking out. Can you see the chat? Can you see the chat for Noise? Can you see it? You see it on Twitch?
Yeah. Edit. I saw. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
You can kind of like go forward and whatnot, and if he asks questions along Noise, ask if you ever have questions along the way, just drop them in the chat and whatnot, and then Ramit and I will kind of moderate and we'll get it done. But yeah, go ahead, Ramit.
Yeah.
Take stage. You got it, man.
Okay. All right. Nice. All right. So the first thing is like when you wanna model a plane, right? So clearly you need to have two vectors, right? Because if you have one vector, you can only go back and forth in one direction. Now, you also need to have another vector to model a plane. But here's the thing. These two vectors don't always have to be perpendicular to one another.
Mhm.
As long as they're not parallel, you can always model a plane. So obviously, to get to a point like right here, you need to kind of use like a combination of these two. Sometimes you need to like move forward in a few ways and backwards, kind of like, I don't know, like let's say if this is your starting point, you can kind of go like two of these and then maybe backwards, something like that. So you can always get to any point that is on like a plane using two vectors that are not parallel to one another. Right. And as long as they're called linearly independent as well. Linear
independent. Yeah, it's a math word for like they cross, right?
Yeah.
They're not. It's not the same thing, just like parallel to each other.
Yeah, they're not parallel, or they can't be. One of them cannot be written like if V and W are linearly dependent, then you can write one as like a kind of like a scalar times the other.
Right. Exactly.
If this thing is not true, then they're linearly independent.
Good,
okay.
Good.
So when you want to do this, the next step is what do these B, C's, and A's represent, and lambda and mu?
Mm-hmm.
So
those are scalars, I think, right? Those are scalars. The lambda and mu are scalars?
No. So that's I want to say first of all, if Noise already knows this, and then if he doesn't, then
yeah, we're checking for Noise's understanding here. Noise, does this make sense so far?
Yeah.
There's always like a little bit of a delay between the Twitch.
Delay, yeah.
Yeah, this is why the Discord is the best. How do you erase stuff? If you hit E should pull up an eraser that you can erase stuff.
Okay, I wanted to just delete a whole section.
Hit S and then you can select and then just delete. Noise says A is a general vector in the plane. Lambda and mu are the scalars. That's correct.
Yeah, exactly. And then the B and C are the directions of those two vectors that you are talking about. That you guys are talking about. That we said these two are the
Mhm.
two vectors that describe the plane.
Mhm.
So right now we need to find, you can find A, B, and C, and lambda and mu are just two scalars that you can always put in numbers instead of those two and get to any point that is on the plane. So
Right.
how do we find B and C?
Noise. You know how to figure out B and C?
Yeah. So A is a general point. Yeah. I mean it's a vector that points from the origin to a point on the plane. So it's technically still a vector, but it's the vector that points in the direction of the point on the plane. So if you want to find B and C, which are the vectors that describe the plane, say B is the vector Ln and C is the vector Ln. Yep, there you go. So if you said it's Lm, so Lm would be m minus L, and Ln would be n minus L. So Lm would be 6 minus minus 2, so plus 2, minus 2 minus 3, so plus 3. Yeah, I'm doing m minus L. And then 0 minus 1, which is plus 1. And then this gives you 8, 1, 1. All right. And then you have Ln, which is n minus that. So it's going to be 2 minus 2, so plus 2. 0 minus 3, so plus 3. And then 0 minus 1, plus 1. So you get 4, 3, 1. Okay. So now your vector r, which sometimes they also might write it as x, is going to be A. Well, A is going to be any point on the plane. So you can just take any of these 3 points that you're already given. So let's just take L. So it's going to be minus 2, minus 3, minus 1, plus lambda 8, 1, 1, plus, let me scroll a little bit, oops. And then plus mu 4, 3, 1. So this is the first part of the question. Is that clear so far?
I see it. Ah, okay. Right, because lambda and m can have different numbers to basically be like at what like two-dimensional coordinate you are on the plane. Yeah, noise says all good so far.
Yeah. Okay.
Perf.
All right. So then part B, it says showed that according to the model, the lawn is perpendicular to the vector 1, 2, negative 10.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to show two things are perpendicular, there's two ways of going about this. This is part A. Part B. If you want to show two things are perpendicular, well, you can either start from these two vectors and find a perpendicular vector to these two, which we can always do with a cross product. So let's just, for simplicity, call these V and W, just because we don't want to avoid using two letters. So you can always find V cross W and then show that this is perpendicular to this vector. Let's just recall, I don't know.
Yeah, noise brings up a good point. If we want to show that things are perpendicular to each other, right, we can take the dot product between them and show that they're equal to 0, right? So yes, you can either take the cross product and show it's parallel, or the dot product and show that it's 0.
Exactly. So that was one way, or then the other way is find the dot product of this with that vector L and show that this is 0, and then W with that L and show that this is 0. Okay, so let's do that. So we have 8, 1, 1 dotted with 1, 2, negative 10. this gives us, now the dot product works is you just take the multiplication of every element with its corresponding one, and then you add all of the results. So 8
Mhm.
times 1, you get 8, plus 1 times 2, 2, plus 1 times negative 10. So minus 10.
Nice.
Clearly
0.
0.
Noise says, could
Right?
you do the
And
cross product way? Because he doesn't know the cross product way.
okay, I'll just do this quickly also just so we can
Yeah, sure.
have it. So then this one's going to be 4 plus 6 minus 10, also 0. Okay, so the cross product. Nice. All right. So the cross product way of doing this, I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to do the cross product. Sometimes it's just like people do like weird things to like actually like get to it. The most memorable one for me is you put I hat, J hat, K hat on the, so it's a matrix. You find the determinant of the matrix, which is why I put like straight lines in there. And then on the first row, you put I hat, J hat, K hat.
Mhm.
And
Which is really
then
just
on the
fancy language for
second
X,
row-
Y, Z. A lot of people like see IJK and they're like, what? Why is it IJK? And the reason
Yeah, so
is
this is like,
because we have X, Y, and Z sometimes as variables, and they don't want to get them confused. You know.
exactly. Sometimes I put like X, you can put X hat, Y hat, K, the Z hat.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Same thing.
And then on the first row, you put V, which is going to be what I consider to be the 811, and the other one's going to be 431. Okay, and then you have to find the determinant of this, and then you would get the vector. So also just be careful, the order in which you put these has to matter, because this gives you V cross W. If you put them in the opposite order, so the 431 is up and then it's 811 in the bottom, it's going to give you W cross V, right? So in this problem, it doesn't really matter which order you do them because they're going to be parallel regardless. So sometimes you might have like a minus sign in front anyways, because you want to just show two things are parallel. So it really doesn't matter which way you do it. But for other cases, if you want to find a cross product of two things, you just have to make sure that you
Yeah,
do
the
them in
order is
the proper
important
order.
because if you do something like this crossed with this, right, you're gonna get the up direction. And if you do it the opposite way, then you end up getting the down one. And like technically, this is all part of the same line that's perpendicular to these two. So that's why it's just the order matters whether you want the plus or the minus version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if anytime I miss any questions, just let me know because I'm
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
going back and forth. between the
It's all good.
chat.
It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
To find the determinant of this,
This is
well,
the determinant
there's a
of a
bunch of
3 by
different
3.
ways.
Yeah, there's a bunch of ways. We did this actually last lesson with Teacup. Teacup we did a determinant of a 3 by 3. But yeah, show it if people don't remember. It's a good way.
So you can. So the cool thing is that you can always. They say you can expand above the column or the row, which means because you always cross out one column and one row, and then you can, to move on to the next element, you can cross out the next column and the same row,
Mm-hmm.
or you can do the next row and the same column. Right.
Oh,
So
really?
there's-
Oh, that's a cool way to do it. Oh, I didn't know
yeah,
that.
because this is determinant of every matrix is equals to the determinant of the transpose of it.
That's right.
So
A
it doesn't
transpose. Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter which way you do it, but it's easier to do it across the, what's it
I
called?
like the T
Across
method. I call it the T method is what it is.
Yeah, that's like less confusing, but you know.
It's like the this,
you can-
yeah, and then this.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Noise
then-
says he didn't know that. Yeah, see? Yeah, that's cool. That's dope. All right, keep going.
So then if we do this one, the coefficient of this is going to be the I hat. Oops.
Mhm.
The coefficient of this is going to be the I hat, which is now means that this is going to be your X component.
Yep.
And then it's going to be the determinant of the remaining things that haven't been crossed out. So it's 1 times 1 minus 1 times 3. So it's 1 minus 3. But then there's also this other thing that, I guess before I write this down, let me put it here. So you sometimes you have a -1 and then you have like a positive. So sometimes people they just say, oh, the y component is just
Is negative.
has a minus in
Yeah,
front.
yeah.
Yeah. The easier way of remembering it is that there is always a -1, but it's to the power of row plus column.
What?
So then,
Oh, okay. Row
yeah.
plus
So
column.
then if it's first row, first column, this becomes 2.
Uh-huh.
And then you have the 1 minus 3, which we had.
Uh-huh.
And then for the j hat component, we have -1 to the row plus column. So let me erase this one.
That's here, right?
So this one is 1 plus 1.
Mm-hmm. Which is just 2. Got you.
Yeah. And then this is 1 plus 2, so 3. And then we get 8 times 1 minus 1 times 4. So this. And then for the last column, you would get -1 to the power of 1 plus 4, 1 plus 3, so 4.
Yeah.
And
Why
then
it's
you
like
would
it's
get,
plus minus plus. I didn't know it was the row plus column. Because does this apply when we
Yeah.
start doing like 4x4s and whatnot?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the whole point. So
Oh my God, but
can do
like-
one-
You do not want to ever do a determinant of a 4x4. Like you shouldn't ever have to do that
yeah,
in your life.
like you just put in a calculator. Like, I remember
Like-
that was actually one time on my exam.
Really? You had to do a
And,
determinant of a 4x4?
Yeah, and it, and it was
Fuck.
actually like complex numbers too. So it's so
No, dude, that's just
crazy,
torture.
yeah.
I ask sometimes. I'm like, who hurt this teacher, dude? Like, who was this teacher not held as a child? Why does he feel like he has to enact pain on his students?
yeah, honestly.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So then the last one we get 8 times 3,
Mhm.
so 24 minus 1 times 4,
Yeah. This.
so minus 4.
Yep.
Yeah. And then so now this is gonna be this is writing this is what we call like it's called writing in algebraic
form?
So let's just put it in
Yeah.
a vector form. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then so the first component becomes -2.
Mhm.
The second one is 4, but remember it's a -1 in front, so it's -4.
Mhm.
And then the last one is going to be 20.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. So now you have to show that this and the 1, 2, -10 are parallel, or parallel. So, well, this is the same thing as if I factor out a -2, you get the
Mhm.
1, 2, -10.
Right. Which is the
Right.
same thing as the
And
as
this
as
is
the
just
1, 2 minus 10.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Right.
these two things are parallel to one another.
Yeah, that's how you show the parallel,
Yeah.
right? And this is what we talked about earlier about like two things being linearly independent or dependent, right? These things are dependent are not independent because one is just the scalar, the multiple of another one.
Yeah.
That's cool. Very cool.
And then there you go. So that's part B, like I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
so
this
then
is Cartesian
like,
equation.
should I go
plane.
to like a new page or something so that I have
Yeah,
the
yeah. So here's
questions
what
on
we
the
can do. So I
side?
can copy this, and then we can go over to another page, and then there it is right there.
All right, nice.
If you ever need to go
Okay.
back, you can just hit the left arrow and just go back.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And then all right. So now we have to write this in a Cartesian equation. Let me just switch back to better color. Okay. So it says Cartesian equation of the plane. So here's the thing. The equation of the plane can always be written in terms of one vector.
Mhm.
So you can either find two and linearly independent vector to write the equation of a plane, or you can find, so think of this plane like this. You can either have like two vectors, and you can see that there's like a whole set of families.
Yeah,
Of
you could have a bunch of different vectors where
Uh-huh.
like those two vectors would describe like this plate, basically.
Exactly. But then there's going to be a normal vector to this as well.
Right, and it's only
I
one
mean,
normal
actually,
vector.
Well, technically two, because
Technically two, because you can have the plus or minus. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're parallel to one another. So
Mhm.
like technically they're just a linear combination of the other. So you can always use the normal vector to describe the plane as well. So
Mhm.
how do we actually get this? So assume that your R vector can be written as x1, x2, x3, or let's just, because people are
Yeah.
not used to like these things.
Yeah,
I'll just go
XYZ. I know, because people start seeing the subscripts and they're just like,
Yeah.
oh no, what is that? What do you mean there are multiple X's? How many people did I date in math?
That's dope.
Okay. So yeah, like you go XYZ. So this is your R can be written. And remember, this is just A plus lambda B plus mu C. Still that, right? But let's
Mhm.
just write it this way. So we know that R and this vector N, we don't know exactly, like sometimes you don't know what it is, but you can always find it, which we said we can find N to be, V cross W. This
Mhm.
is one way of finding it, but it can be just any like linear combination of these two,
Mhm.
right? So we are already given that one vector. Most likely they wanted you to use this as well. So we know this is a vector that is perpendicular to that plane. So look
Right.
at this. Let's call this, we call this N vector.
That's our normal vector,
So
yep.
R, exactly. R minus what we call A in here. Check this, dotted with that N, what do you get? Well, that R can be written as, remember, so if this is A plus lambda B plus mu C,
Mhm.
then if you subtract the A, then you're left with lambda B plus mu C. But remember that this thing is perpendicular to this. So the dot product of this with these two things give you 0.
So why
So
why
then
why did
R
we
minus
why did we
A,
do R minus A here? Why did we do R minus A?
just to subtract that A from, make that A go away, because R dot A, R dot N itself is not going to give you 0, right? We want to only have the components that are the lines that are describing it to be dotted with N, because we know that the dot product of that is just going to give you 0
Is it because
with those two.
is it because A doesn't have a scalar attached to it? Is that what we're doing here?
No.
Because A doesn't have any scalar, so like it doesn't describe all the different lines in the plane.
No, it's because A dot N is not 0.
Is not 0.
But B dot N is 0, and C dot N is 0. So obviously, if we just put any scalar in front of them,
Okay,
then
why
it's also gonna
here's a
be
good question. Yeah, why is A dot N not equal to 0?
because N is the vector that is perpendicular to B and C. That's just how we calculated it. Technically, you can get N this way, or it could be any linear combination of like the two vectors. But A is just a
I see.
point on the plane, right?
I
So
see.
a point and like a vector are not going to be like kind of perpendicular to one another.
Sure.
It could be like, it could happen that the dot product is 0, but it's not necessarily 0,
Mhm.
right? But we know that B dot N is for sure 0. We
Right,
know
and
that
then
C dot N is for sure 0, because that's how N is constructed.
gotcha. Okay,
And
gotcha.
so when you do this, R minus A just gives you these two components, and then those with N is going to give you 0.
Gotcha.
Okay, so now if we write this in terms of, if we expand this, we have R dot N minus A dot N is equals to 0. Then if we put R in terms of our XYZ, then we have dotted, what was the other thing? 1, 2, negative 10.
Yeah.
And then we move this to the other side, and we have A, so whatever we took our A to be, which was the L point, right? So minus 2, minus 3, minus 1. dotted with 1 to negative 10. So then, now if you actually take the dot product of this gives you x plus 2y minus 10z is equals to some number, which is just like the dot product of a point on the plane dotted with the normal vector. So it's
Oh,
going to
okay.
be 2 minus 6 plus 10, which is 2. So then now you've arrived at a Cartesian.
Oh, okay. This is cool, actually. I'm actually
coordinate.
okay. I've always struggled with vectors and this type of like linear algebra stuff because for me it's so hard to visualize, I guess is what it is. But let me go back real quick. So L, oh, I see. So L was the common point we figured out here, right? This is the point that all the vectors are based off of. So like just visually, let me show this real quick. So we have some point A here, right? Which is basically equal to L, right? And we're doing LM, right? And then LN, right? These two lines cross product with each other to then get the normal line N, right? Is that more or less correct there, Ramit, how I'm doing this?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Good, okay.
The point obviously could be any point on the plane. It doesn't have to be L. It's just because, we've been working with L to be in there, so it's just nicer to put L. But you can always put any point on the plane
Yes,
to be
yeah.
considered.
And then the key thing here, because remember we got this wrong last time with the R's, right? But like R, right, just points. R describes any point here, like on the plane, right? Is what it does, right? This is like this would be, for instance, going to R. And when we do R minus A, what we're doing is we're kind of bringing this whole plane to the origin. Is what we're doing. We're being like, no.
Exactly.
Like let me take this plane, which I'm centering at A, which in this case is point L, and let me pull it to the origin. And now, let me do all the dot products and show that they're equal to this. Yes, good. That they're equal to 0. Yeah. This I like this. This is a cool explanation. This is the R minus A dot N. Yes. This basically brings the plane to the origin and then says, okay, that dotted with N has to be equal to 0. Oh, very cool, man.
Yeah.
I like that, dude.
And then we said that the R was obviously this whole shenanigan right here that we had, but it's also like the easier way of thinking about it is like, let's just think of it as it could be XYZ. And those XYZ are just points that should satisfy a point being on the plane. But obviously, they can't just arbitrarily be anything because they have to be on the plane. So in reality, once you get this equation of the plane, you can take two of them to be anything you want, pretty much. And then the third one is like fixed, because then the first two kind of gives you some level of variability.
Sure.
And then the third one has to be such that the equation stands true.
Yes, yeah, no, I
And
get that. Let me look at this other page
we
real
call
quick.
like a degree of freedom, I guess.
Let me see. One sec. And where was our answer, sorry, to part A? Where did we do that? Where was part A, the answer for that?
Part A is like this. I put it here. So it's just kind of like this chunk.
Oh, it's this. It's this in like vector form, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I see. Okay. Oh, A, B, and C are vectors. Yes, because they're bold. I remember someone was yelling at one of my TikToks. They're like, imagine not making your vectors bold. I was like, what? Like, chill, dude. Like, I put an arrow over them, man. Like, you're good. Cool. That's very good. All right. Let's maybe break there, just halfway. Just this is a very cool question, Noise. Let's do the other half of this on another stream. I want to make sure we get to all the other students with stuff, but I learned a ton here too, so I really appreciate this, Ramit, for you going through this. This is very cool.
I was gonna just add one thing on this one. So I said this has 2 degrees of freedom as well. So then, just remember, like, the degrees of freedom, it's always equals to the number of variables minus the number of equations.
Ah, okay.
You can freely move in this many things. So in here we have 3 variables minus 1 equation. So you have 2 ways you can freely move. And
Which
that's why
defines a
when we
plane.
have
That's why
three-
it defines a plane, right? Because you have
Exactly.
2. Exactly. Yeah, because you have a 2-dimensional plane, which is like x, y that you can like move around.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then so when you have 3 equations and 3 variables and 2 equations,
Yeah.
this tells you the intersection of 2 planes. So this gives you a line. Right? So that's 1 degree.
Right, because you can only
And then
move
when you have
along that
3
line.
equa-
Hmm.
Yeah. And then when you have three variables, 3 equations, you have no degrees of freedom, which means it's a point.
Yes, and this is what I always talk about. This is cool because this is a higher level math concept that applies even down to like simpler things that people do in like middle school, high school. When you're solving a systems of equations, right? You're usually always taught that you need to have at least the number of variables with the you need to have at least the number of equations as you do for variables, right? Like if you have an x and a y you don't know, you need a system of 2 equations in order to figure it out. And that would be 0
Yeah.
degrees of freedom. That means there's only one solution, right?
Exactly.
Which is the
And then
same
when you
thing
have,
here as
like-
a point. Yeah. And when you have what?
Yeah, and then when you have like 3 equations and 3 variables and 2 equations, you get a line, so you have a whole family of equations.
Right.
And if you were to ever put it into like a matrix form, 3 variables is going to be like 3 rows
Uh-huh.
in 2 things, and 2 rows and 3 columns.
Yeah.
And so when you do the Gaussian elimination for this, you would always have a free variable.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
And
cool.
then that means that your answer is going to look like x is equals to like a plus lambda b.
Yes,
something
exactly.
like that.
Yeah, and this is eventually this is what Teacup asks sometimes about eigenvectors and eigenvalues. That's what this all comes into. Like, it's cool. It's very cool to see the overall structure of everything. You know, again, because like I'm used to teaching everything like middle school, high school language, but then this gets it like slightly into the stratosphere of like college stuff, where you start to see like the big picture of like why this all comes together. Oh man, that's dope.
Yeah. And like understanding these at a basic level actually helps you understand. So like getting
Yeah.
these understanding, because a lot of these stuff when I was learning it, I was like focusing on like solving equations, which is something I tell people to like never do.
Yeah.
Because once you can understand the concepts properly, if you go into higher dimensional things like the differential geometry, like visualization, you can kind of like to a certain degree visualize higher dimensional things, because obviously you're not visualizing 4-dimensional things, but you kind of have a perception of like what's going on in like 4
Yeah.
dimensions. So that's what they say when they say you can think in higher dimensions.
That's cool. Yeah, Noise says linear algebra is beautiful.
That's dope.
I agree. It is.
Yeah.
Cool. Noise, did that help you out for the first part here? It helped me out. Like I thank you, Remit. Like I learned I think I understand vectors now a lot more in terms of 2 dimensions than I did in 3 dimensions. Yeah, this is dope. Yes.
Oh, that was clear. So
No, it was. No, you did a very good job. No, I thought it was very cool. Okay, let me add 1 sec to here. One user noise. Yes, awesome. Okay, cool. Big round of applause. Thank you, Ramit, for helping us out with that. Noise says, yeah, that was sick. Cheers. Fuck yeah, dude. Yes, to all the other students who are completely fucking lost, it's okay. I don't expect you to know this. I don't expect you to but like, it's cool to see it. And it's cool to get exposed to it so that like when it eventually comes up later in your life, or maybe it won't because maybe you won't be taking linear algebra, but if you are, it's very cool to have the hints, the breadcrumbs of this, where you're just like, ooh, I've already seen this a little bit. Yeah. Sick. Okay, cool. Thanks, Ramit, for that, dude. I appreciate that, dude. That was cool. Maybe next stream we'll do the second half of this.
yeah, I'll stay in the chat though.
Yeah, please stay in the chat. Yeah, you're great.
Yeah.
You're great. Here, let's get Josh up to Josh. Do you want to come up to the stage? Josh has a question. Josh was like, Dr. Gold, what is this? What's up, Josh? Josh, can you speak? Or 1 sec, are you muted? Let me see what's happening here. Wait, let me turn your volume up. Okay,
Can you hear
cool.
me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Cool. All right, let's get your question.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, cool. We're gonna do what are we gonna do here? All right. No, this is the vector. This is not it. I was like, that is not your question.
Yeah, I didn't recognize it.
Yeah, that's tough stuff. It's cool though, you know. See, even I learned stuff. You know, I've been doing math. I've been teaching this shit for like almost a decade and a half, and I still learn stuff. You know, that's what life is about. Life's about constantly learning things. All right. Find the amount of money you will have after 10 years if 15,000 is invested in accounts paying 6% interest compounded. Cool. Annually, quarterly, monthly, daily, continuously. Okay, cool. We got different equations for these. All right. Do you know this is called compound interest? Have you done anything with compound interest yet, Josh?
We started it today in class.
Okay. Well, here, let me kind of like, I think I've shown this before, how compound interest works. But let's say, for instance, you have $100, okay? And I say that every year you get a 5% interest rate on it, okay? So let's say it like so you start off year 0 with 100, okay? How much would you have at year 1?
100.
Okay, but if there's 5% interest, so I'm saying you earn 5% like every year, what would we say it is then?
100 plus 5% of 100.
Very good. Okay, this is 100 plus 5% of 100. You know how to calculate 5% of 100?
You could do 0.05 times 100. That's 5.
Good, exactly. Right. So you see how this is 100. So this is going to be, sorry, yeah, 100 times 0.05.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, very good. And that would give you an amount, right? 100 times 0.05 would get you 5. 5 plus 100 would get you 105.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. What about year 2?
105 plus 5% of 105.
Good. Okay. And again, remember, how do we say 5% of 105? We're going to say we're going to say 105 times 0.05. Right. I want you to see a trend here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how this amount here, right, is the same thing that was here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what's another way I could write this, for instance? If I wanted to factor out, for instance, the 100.
I don't know.
Okay. If I have A plus 4A,
Mm-hmm.
if I factor out an A here, do you see how this is 1 plus 4 times A?
Mm-hmm.
Good. I can kind of do the same thing here. Do you see how I have 100 plus 100 times 0.05?
So you could take out 100.
Good.
100. 1 plus 0.05.
What's 1 plus 0.05?
1.5.
Nice.
1.05. Yes.
Yeah, my bad.
You're good. Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then we got year 2 here.
Mm-hmm.
Which
105.
this 105, right, is the same thing as this though. See, this is 100 times 1.05.
Oh yeah.
You see how this is also 100 times 1.05?
Huh?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, what happens if we pull the 100 times 1.05 out? What do we get?
105.
1 plus 0.05, right? You see how that, right? Because this is like one of these, and then this is 0.05 of these.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, this is 1.05 again.
Yeah.
How can I write 1.05 times 1.05 as an exponent? What happens if I have a times a? How do we write that? A to the power of what? What happens if I have a? You see, Josh, how this is like a squared?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the same thing as 100 times 1.05 to the second. So you should start seeing a trend here, right? Let's say, for instance, I wanted to know year 40, right? How much money do you think you'd have in year 40? By using this, like, this pattern. You see how in year 1, it's 100 times 1.05 to the 1? And then for year 2, it's 100 times 1.05 to the 2? What if it was like the 40th year? Ba-ba-ba. Yeah. Oh, there we go. My bad. Josh, come back up. What's up, Josh? Can I hear him? Yeah, there you are. Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear myself a little bit in your stream. Well, I can hear myself a lot. You have headphones on?
Crap. Yeah, I have headphones on.
How can I... Are they open headphones?
No, they're wired.
How do I hear myself in your stream? Or how do I hear my stream in your headphones? If you're using headphones.
I don't.
He's like, I don't know. I don't know either. What type of like crosstalk is there on like the mic level?
I don't know.
I need to buy you a headset. That's what I need to do. It's okay. It's all right.
I just use my earbuds.
You just your earbuds, but it's somehow. What type of earbuds do you have?
I just have like Samsung wired earbuds.
Yeah, Chaotic says the mic is godlike. Yeah, how do headphones bleed throw into the mic? Oh, I can hear myself.
I don't know, man.
Okay, it's all right. We'll figure it out.
Hmm.
Anyways, so year 40, this would be like 100 times 1.05.
To the 40th power.
Good. Good. You got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is called yearly interest. Or the same thing as
Yeah.
annual.
Mm-hmm.
So, after 10 years. So, the equation for this is the amount you have is equal to your initial amount times 1 plus the rate, interest rate, right? That was the 0.05. And then to t, which is the number of years.
Mm.
Okay. So in this case, it becomes 15,000 times 1.06 to the 10. Cool?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Now if the compounding happens like a couple times during the year, so here this was annually, but like if it happens 4 times during the year,
Yeah.
what you end up having to do is you have to divide this rate by like how many times it's being compounded in a
Oh,
single
That's
year.
cool.
Yeah, here, let me show you. Let me show you where this comes from. One sec. What is it? Quarterly. Let me just double check that I'm correct here. Yes. So what happens is you end up dividing the rate by 4. Not the total rate, sorry, just the R. And then you end up having to put an additional 4 up in the exponent because it's going to do it 4 times during the year.
Yeah.
Okay. So for quarterly, that means it's going to be this. And we're going to do 1 plus 0.06 to the over 4 to the 4 times 10. This is like how many times we're compounding. We're compounding 4 times per year for 10 years, so that's 40. And then the interest rate is 0.06 over the year, but but every quarter that's 0.06 divided by 4.
Mhm.
So how do you think the equation would change for monthly?
Yeah. It should change 15,000 plus 1 plus 0.6 over 12
Good.
to the power of 12.
Times 10.
Oh, why do we multiply it by 10?
Because we want 10 years. So it's 12 times per year for 10 years. Okay.
That makes
about
sense.
What about daily?
15,000 times 1 plus 0.6 over 365 to the power of 365 times 10.
Very good. All right. This gets a little complicated because continuously requires you to know the limit definition of e to the x, which you don't know. Not at your age.
What's that?
He's like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, here these. So there for the math people out there. I think it's limit as x approaches infinity of 1 plus 1 over x to the x. Is that what it is? This is equal to e to the x.
My teacher was talking about some PERT thing in class today.
Some what thing?
It's like PERT. It's like this formula called PERT.
Oh yeah, p equals rt. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry. It's 1 plus x over n. I had this wrong. I knew it was something like this. Yeah, there we go. And is this to the n? Yes, okay. So this is a cool thing. I don't think you've done limits yet, Josh. Right?
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, no, limits is like a calculus thing.
Oh. I'm
Yeah,
in
so
algebra 2 right now.
Yeah, no, you haven't done this yet. But basically what happens is that as... Oh, thank you, Verfassungsgeist. Geist. Oh, that's cool. It's also a German name, I guess. What does that mean? Please tell me what that
I
means.
don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of cool. But as the number of times we compound goes to infinity, because that's what continuously compounding means. That means like you're compounding an infinite number of times over the year. So this is going to like infinity. And then this is like infinity times 10. Which is the same thing here. Do you see how like as this goes to infinity and this goes to infinity, we get just e to the x? This is why this equation ends up becoming 15,000 times e to the, what is it? I think it's just 0.06 times 10.
Times 10.
Yes. Yeah, it has to do with this. Because essentially, here, and I'll show you for the calculus people here. When you have a naught 1 plus r over n to the nt, and then you take the limit as n approaches infinity. This is the same thing as a naught limit as n approaches infinity of 1 plus r over n to the n, and then this is all to the t, and then this whole thing here becomes e to the x, or e to the r. This is why you get a naught e to the r to the t, which is e to the rt. Cool. Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
Nice. Sweet. All right. I'm glad that helped you, Josh. I'm gonna get you a headset, dude. Where do you live? Do you live in the United States?
Washington. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Nice. Yeah. How about this? When you get the 10 bond coins, if your parents will allow it, I will mail you a headset so that you don't have this issue with things. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Nice, dude. All right. Let's see what happened to Grim. Grim, go here. Minion, come up Come up to speak, minion. Come up to speak, minion.
Sus.
Sus. Oh, we got lots of questions. Where's your question? One sec. Okay, there's Gab. I'll do Gabby's eventually. Ethan and Teacup, I will do yours. Let me help this guy real quick. We're gonna go a little bit over time. It's okay.
Yay.
Yes, Teacup. I'll do yours next, and then I'll do Ethan's. Let me see. Verfassungsgesetz. It's a play of words. Basically, the German Supreme Court. It does not translate well. Awesome stream. Thank you, dude. Yeah, German is such an interesting language. Does anyone here speak German? We have some German people in the Discord. I know we do. It's a language where there's some things that like they like putting a lot of words like all in one line, like with no spaces is what they do. There's does anyone know what Bremsstrahlung is? I think it is. It's called Bremsstrahlung. Let me think. Spooky action at a distance. What's the name for that? But there's a German name for it. Yeah, Spunkhafter Verwirkungen. It's just like, what? There's a... Yeah, they like putting lots of words all in one to like describe a single thing. We put spaces, but they tend to like not put as many spaces between things. So that's when I saw his username as being Verfassungsgesetz or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's got to be like an elaborate thing they just put all into one word. German's a funny language. It's cool. All right, but okay. Which one, Minnie, did you want help with? The first one or the second one? You get to pick.
Okay. I'd say the first one.
The first one. Okay, here we go. Okay, the perimeter of rectangle ABCD is 30. 3 more rectangles are added, so the centers are blah, 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 and their sides are parallel, so the rectangles, sum of the perimeters of these 3 rectangles is 20. What is the length of the border of the shape? Okay. We gotta do something with variables here, right? The perimeter of Wrangle... Oh, okay, so they say the original perimeter here, right? That's equal to 30, right? Okay. So let's assign some variables here, Minion, to things. Okay. This is always like kind of my strategy to things. Is like if we label things as variables, then things will become more clear once we have to like get to them. All right. So I'm gonna call this L, right? And then I'm gonna call this thing here W. Okay. Just for now. What would be the perimeter in terms of L and W? Like, what would the equation for that be?
L times 2 plus W times 2.
Good. So 30 is equal to 2L plus 2W, right? Okay, cool. 3 more rectangles are added, so their centers... The sum of the perimeters of these 3 rectangles is 20. Now, here's my question. Do they mean this whole... Yes, I think they mean the whole thing. I think they mean the whole thing here. I think they mean this rectangle, this rectangle. Oh, and there is no rectangle C. Okay, that's all right. All right. Are they the same? No, right? These things are all different rectangles too. Okay. How are we gonna do this? Okay, again.
Wait, I thought you had an idea.
Yeah, what's your idea, dude? Let me know.
You know how the rectangle is like 1/4 of the way in?
Uh-huh. Well, do we know it's 1/4? I don't think we know exactly what the percentage is that it's in. I don't think we're allowed to assume that.
Doesn't it say it? It says like the rectangle like it's the rectangle the whole rectangle is exactly in like the center of the rectangle. Doesn't it say that?
Yeah, so that's saying that this rectangle is in the center of the point, is what we say. So for instance, the center of this rectangle here, Minion, is this corner, is what we say.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think that says. Let's come up with more variables. All right, I'm gonna call this A1 and A2. Okay, and then I'm gonna call this you know, B2, B1. I'm going to call this D2, and I'm going to call this D1. All right? Just to again, if we label things as variables, things may just cancel, and then we'll get lucky, or we have to, because otherwise this cannot be calculated. All right. We know also, so about this 20 here, how could I write this 20, this total perimeter of all the new things? How could I write that in terms of all these variables? Yes, Chaotic, you can chime in. Yeah, feel free. Feel free. You're in the audience, right? Yeah, Ramit, you can always say something.
So, all right. So there is I mean, it takes a little bit of visual gymnastics to take to this one,
Yeah.
but there's a way that you can kind of just do this without having to like assign variables. You can always
Okay.
assign variables and do it that way.
You can always brute force it. I always have the brute force method of like, let's assign variables. I'll figure it out. But yeah, what's the elegant way?
Yeah, I mean that's what I was doing, and then I realized that as you start to do the math, a kind of visualization kind of came to me as well. So can I write something on the board?
Yeah,
now?
yeah, sure. Yeah, write it, dude. Go for it. Are you still presenter? You should still be
So-
presenter, right? Yeah, you are good.
Right. So here's what you can do. If you take this, let me make this red. If you take this bit of this one right here
Uh-huh.
and then move it here, because that's the center of it, right? So
Good.
that's half the length of this,
Yep.
which means it can go there.
Mhm.
And then you can take this bit right here and then fit it right there.
Good. Yes.
So then you can do the same thing with every one of those. But then now look at what you're left with in this one. You're left with this side entirely
This whole side. Yeah.
and this side. So that's half the perimeter. Now you can do that with this segment
Uh-huh.
and this segment and this segment of this one. So let's move this here
Right. To complete that.
and move this there. And then you're left with
Again, another half
these
of this
two
one.
sides. Yeah. And then if you do that with the other one, you get the full ABCD, and then you get half of each of the rectangles that you have.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh. And you know the sum of all the rectangles has to be 20.
20. So then half of sum
This
or the
is-
sum of half of them
is
would be
10.
half of the total sum.
Is 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Minion, do you see that? Do you see that, Minion?
No.
Yeah, he's like, no. no. Okay, no. Ramit, that's very cool. Here, let me like try to visualize it more for him real quick here. Okay, Minion.
Yeah.
So we know, right, what this total perimeter is here, right? But we're adding
Right.
in these bits. Okay, so what Ramit was pointing out is like, do we notice that this amount right here, this new part of rectangle A, is the same part that got cut, like was missing from our original like perimeter? Like we got rid of this, right? But we also added it again right here.
Right.
Yeah. Again, if it doesn't make sense, let me know. Again, I can explain it like 40 different ways. We'll figure out what makes sense, you know? Okay? Like, let's pretend that I'm taking this rectangle I have, right? And I'm taking this bit and I'm filling in like the missing chunk here that no longer exists because we have this now. You see how like we're missing this part right here for the perimeter?
Right.
So originally, Minion, we had this, right? And then I got rid of this to now make
Yeah.
whatever, you know, this thing basically, right? Okay. So the part that was missing here, right? That's the same thing here, right? So I can just put that back, okay? And now I'm just gonna get rid of this. Okay?
Right.
What about
Oh, I.
this section? Where did this section come from? Like, where is this in our big rectangle A?
Is in the top right.
Good.
Uh,
Do you see this? So this
right.
is I gotta draw some arrows. It's getting put right here, right? And now this goes away. Okay. All right.
Oh.
Okay. So, now that we've recompleted this, the only part of this original rectangle that's left for the perimeter, right, that we haven't counted is now this part and this part. Okay? Which do we see is half of what the total rectangle would have been? You see that?
Right.
This is half of the perimeter. Good. The same trick will work with this one, and the same trick will work with this one. Okay? It's the same. It's the same tactic. Okay. So what ends up happening is we're gonna get our original rectangle back. We're gonna get it back. We're gonna make it whole again. Okay. And we know that has a perimeter of 30 centimeters, right? But then what we added was half of the perimeter of all the other rectangles, of the outside ones. Right?
Right.
And then what was the total perimeter of all the outside rectangles?
It was 20. And now
So do you
it's
see how-
20 divided by 2.
Good. So now we're going to do 30 plus the 20 over 2, right? The original 30 plus half of the new ones, right? And that's going to get us what? Well, it gets us 30, which is, wait, not one of the answers. Wait, Rabbit, that's not one of the answer choices.
Wait, what?
No, it's just 40, right?
Oh, I am so dumb. I'm like, 30 plus 10 is 30. Nope. See, for as smart as I am, dude, I sometimes get really stupid. Yeah. But yes.
No, it's,
Okay, good. Answer is
addition
40.
is fine.
Addition is not my strongest suit. Answer is 40. Do you see that, Minion? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. Very cool question, Minion. I appreciate that. And dude, Ram, I appreciate the insight on that one. That was cool. Because yeah, I was gonna brute force that. I was gonna be like, you know, it's too funny because that's kind of like one of my life my ways of going around life. They call me the tank sometimes because like if I can't get something to work, I'm like, fuck it. I'll find a brute force way to do it. But I like the
honestly,
that's so much more
brute
elegant.
force, I thought about it, too,
Mhm.
but it uses too many variables. So sometimes it might be confusing to see so many variables.
Yeah.
So like it depends on what you're
Yeah,
good at.
I think if we had gone through and done this method, I'm pretty sure what would have happened is we would have seen that that they would have canceled. Like adding up all of these perimeters and then whatnot, I would probably see it's times a half of what it is. You know, that would have popped out eventually.
Yeah, for sure. No,
but-
it pops out, but then because you want to introduce different variables for each, you're gonna have 6 variables. And then
Right.
depending on how comfortable someone is with variables, they might just
Yeah,
get
they might be like,
confused.
no.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's how I thought about it as well. But then I was like, oh, like there's a visual way of like saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's
So
very
without
cool.
having
No,
to-
I like that. That's a lot cooler. And you can see also how like sometimes we gotta explain things a couple times. Like, you know, you can say it and I'm like, oh, I get it. But like then you really gotta like you gotta massage the like, no, this is how it
Yeah.
actually like happens. Yeah. That's cool, dude. Dope. Nice. Nice. Okay. Let's see, who else we got? I got
Gold.
What's up, buddy?
Did you fix the baby voice for this time?
I did. So it doesn't happen in Discord, but it does happen on Twitch. It will happen on Twitch. I went back through the recordings, and yeah, it definitely happens on Twitch. It was too funny to hear me trying to explain stuff sounding like a 8-month-old baby. That's too
Wait,
funny.
let me try the Halo theme.
Yo, you got the Halo theme. If you watch Twitch, yeah, look, Master Chief comes up on the stream. What's up, Master Chief? Yeah, what's up, buddy?
It's on the Discord too.
Oh, is it? Oh, is the audio playing? Oh, good. Oh, also, yeah, no, things will come up on the Discord stage. You'll see within the camera. It'll put it up there as well. Nice. Okay, here, let's do Ethan's question. Then let's do teacups, and then if Gabby's here, I'll do his. Otherwise, I'll do his separately. Chug. I will chug. Thank you. I do need to. Oh, one sec, Minion. Can you challenge me to chess real quick? So that we can
When?
just challenge me right now, just so that the game starts. So if you go into, because a lot of kids are asking me to play chess, and I'm like, I promised I'd play chess with you first, you know. Yeah, if you go to here, I'll do a slash challenge, user exploded. You should see a notification in Chess Club 1, and then just hit accept. Bingo, cool. All right, we got a game. I'll get to it. I'll make my move, or you make the first move. You get to make the first move, and then I'll get to doing all the moves later. Cool. I'll show you. I'll show you later how it works. Pretty cool. All right. All right. Let's see.
How it works?
Yeah.
Dollar move E4. Is that how it works?
No, it's slash. It's slash move. Slash move. Slash move is what you gotta do.
Okay.
Do I have a chess rating? I don't play formally on chess.com. I used to. Nice. Yeah, you got it to work. Yeah, you got it. You got it to work. Where's word? Why is that not playing? All my Windows things are screwing up today. Okay.
Sus.
What? Windows just screws up sometimes. But I think I used to be ranked around 1200 when I used to play a lot of like tournaments in like high school in-person stuff. I haven't played as much online. I now just do it for fun on the Discord, which is it's pretty cool here. You can, for those that can see it, this is an example of like chess games that I play with all the students and whatnot. And they get points for playing. So another way you can earn points. All right, let's go through to where is next one is Ethan. Let me pull it in. But I want someone to hold my hand though. Dude, Chaotic, you're pretty smart, dog. You'd be able to figure it out. It's not chess isn't that hard. Chess is all about just like recognizing patterns. Like if you play enough times and you see enough things, you know like what happens. There's a bot you can play. I think there's a bot you can play on the Discord. You can challenge a bot. Only one student has beaten me so far in the Discord, and it's Trashcan. That's why he's the chess champion right now. Okay, Ethan, what's up? Ethan, come up to the stage, Ethan. Get you in here. Otherwise I'll get teacup up. Ironic, lol. Yeah, dude, yeah, it is ironic. All right, where's Teacup's question? Oh, I like this. Oh, this is fun. So Ethan ended up winning a Xbox controller from our last tournament and whatnot, and he lives all the way in Belize. But I have him in the chat here somewhere. I gave it to him. Where was it? There it was. Yeah. So he won this Xbox controller. It's real. I give out real prizes. People sometimes doubt me. They say it's a scam. But then yes, he got this letter that I sent to him as well. His mom or his aunt brought it all the way from I think Colorado to Belize. So we're international. Pardon?
People tell you their address?
No, I talked to their parents, and then their parents tell me their address. Yeah, I understand you kids should not be giving out your personal address to people and whatnot, but like, if I talk to your parents, it's okay, because you know I'm not a scammer. Like, I'm just trying to send you guys prizes. All right.
Wait,
Cool.
wait, when are we gonna have our game of chess?
It's right now, but I'll get to it. Like, I'll play it throughout the day. There's not a limit to it, if that makes sense. Like, when I have free time, I play as much as I can. But it's not timed per se. I mean, there is a timer where like if I don't move for 2 days, I lose. But don't worry, I'll move every 2 days at least. All right, Ethan, what's up? You want to speak? You're muted, Ethan. Here.
Yeah, no.
All right, cool. This is physics. Parallel forces acting on an object that has a center at its pivot. Calculate the anti-clockwise moments acting on the. Is this in your class, dog? Are you doing this, Ethan?
Well, we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn it.
Okay, that's cool. All right. Moments. Moments is the same thing as. There's a math definition for what a moment is technically, but in physics, it's just called the torque. What we call a moment. All right. Okay, and torque is always equal to the force times the distance from the pivot, as long as the force is perpendicular to that. You see how all these forces here, Ethan, right? This one, this one, this one, this one. You see how these are all perpendicular to this distance?
Mm-hmm.
The distance from the pivot? Yeah, that good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So anti-clockwise means a force that like pulls it in this direction, okay? If we're looking here, Ethan, which
one of these forces, when I apply them, is going to move the thing, is going to move this like seesaw like counterclockwise? Is the 80 going to make it go counterclockwise?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. See if I pull down here, right, this whole thing will move this way. So this one will be counterclockwise, this one will be counterclockwise,
Okay.
and then this one, right? What will this one do? What did I
tune into? Someone redeemed baby voice, and so my voice is now higher pitched. DM2 says, what did I tune into? Physics with a baby. Physics being taught by infants. Okay. So these ones are going to be clockwise, Ethan, because you see how when I pull down here, the whole thing is going to rotate this way?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Anti-clockwise movements, okay? That's going to be the force times the distance. The force here, right? This one is 80. How far away is this one from the pivot point?
Isn't it 80?
No,
Or
80.
14 meters, sorry.
No, it's 1.8. Do you see how this distance from here to here is 1.8?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so it's gonna be 80 times 1.8. That ends up being 0.8 of 8, 64. That's 144. Okay, this is gonna be 144, and technically, what we call that is Newton dot meters. Okay. What about the 41 here? What's that gonna be?
The 41? No.
Uh-huh.
Gold?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Did
Oh,
your
yeah.
mic,
Is it-
mic cut out? You're good.
Sorry. Is it 1.4?
Good. It's 40 times 1.4, okay? 40 times 1.4 is going to get me 56, okay?
Okay.
All right? And then, so those are the anti-clockwise ones, right? Because those pull it this way. These ones are going to pull it this way, which is clockwise, all right? So we can do this one. This is 200 times 0.6, right? Which is going to end up being 120.
Yeah.
And then we don't know what this one is. This one is going to be F times 1.6. We don't know what F is, all right? So we've done this. We've done this. The last thing they ask is to calculate the force needed to balance the moments, right? Imagine this is a seesaw when you have like a weight here and a weight here. You have a weight here, but you're like, how much weight do I need here so that the whole thing balances?
Like, it needs to have equal weights, you know. Both sides need to be equal.
Not necessarily equal weights. They have to have equal moments. The amount of moments or the torque, the amount of torque that is pulling it counterclockwise needs to be the same torque that's pulling it clockwise. Okay?
Okay.
So counterclockwise, which they call anti-clockwise, very interesting. They call it anti-clockwise. We call it counterclockwise in the U.S. That's
Still counterclockwise as well.
oh, okay. I just don't know the anti part. That's okay. So this total, so we have 200 going counterclockwise. CCW is what we say, not concealed carry, weaponed. And then in the clockwise direction, we have 120 plus 1.6 times F. That's the clockwise direction. All right. what we want to do is we want to set this equal to this, right? Because that's how they'll balance. If the moments or the torques are the same, then the thing doesn't move. Okay?
All right.
So we get 200 equals 120 plus 1.6 F minus 120 minus 120. I get that 80 equals 1.6 F. 80 is the same thing as fuck, what is that? 8/5. It's 8/5, right? So I'm gonna multiply both sides by 5/8. This is why you don't need a calculator for this. Because 80/8, what's 80/8?
Well, it's like 10 by 10.
Good. So this becomes 10, and then I have 5 times 10, which is equal to 50. That's why I didn't need a calculator for that, right? Your final answer is 50. Cool?
Oh yeah, cool.
Nice. Good shit, dude. All right. That's cool. I like you asking questions about stuff that you're going to go over later in class. That's really cool. Like, also, it helps other people who are learning physics and whatnot to do that. A good physics question. 94 bond coins. Getting up there, dude. All right, Teacup. Thank you for being so patient, Teacup. Last question of the day.
Yes, hello.
Yes, hello. How's your day going, Monsieur Teacup?
Good.
Good, dude. Good. All right, cool. All right. Final values of x such that this happens? Okay. How do we do this? This is a good one. How do we do this, Teacup?
Well, let's get rid of the fractions.
Yeah, okay. How are we going to get rid of the fractions?
Multiply by the reciprocal, I think.
Reciprocal. Well, we just want to multiply by the denominator, really, to get rid of anything. If I multiply by the reciprocal, that's gonna screw up a lot of shit. Yeah. So we're just gonna multiply. I know. We're gonna multiply both sides by 8 here. So that's gonna be negative 96m plus 8x. Oh wait, sorry. We have to multiply by the sum of the reciprocal. We have to multiply by 24 because I want to get rid of both of these, right? I want to multiply by 8 and by 3. Okay. Ew. This 129 is going to be a huge pain in the ass. Okay, fine. Oh, my calculator thing's not working correctly. It's okay. All right. None of my screen stuff is working right now. I don't know why. Okay, so we're going to do 24 times 12. I should know that one. That's negative 288. So I have negative 288m minus 8x, because the 3 will cancel with the 3 on the bottom. And then we're going to do plus, and then that's going to be 129 times 3. It's going to be 387. Equals 6 times 24. Oh, I should know that one as well. Negative 144 mx minus an 18 times 144. No, 18 times 24. It'll be 432. Cool?
Yeah.
All right, we're solving for x. How do we solve for x here?
Well, let's
maybe see where x is, right? X is here and x is here.
Yeah.
Let's try to get those things together.
Well, yeah. Let's combine the terms. So
Good.
let's do minus 387 to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
No idea what that gets us.
819.
It's like negative.
819.
Yeah. So now that's gone. So now we need to get rid of the x on the negative 144 mx.
Mm-hmm.
Or get rid of the negative 144 m. So we could just divide that by negative 144 m.
Now, yeah, here's the reason you don't want to do that, Teacup. If I divide both sides here by the minus 144m, cool. I will kill that off. But that's going to cause a problem here, because then this is going to have the m attached to it as well, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's get rid of the. Can we just divide it by m?
No, because again, that's also going to put an m under here as well. Here's what you want to do, Teacup. You want to, well, if I divide by x, then this gets x, and then this gets x. You see how this just becomes messy?
Sounds like a you problem.
Sounds like a you problem. All right, when this happens, Teacup, you want to try to get these two next to each other, and you want to factor out the x. That's what you want to do. That's the trick. All right, I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to move this over here. So I'm going to have 144 mx minus 8x is equal to 288m minus 819. You see that?
Yeah.
How do I factor x out of this?
Factor x out of this. No idea.
Well, do you see I have an x times this and an x times this? Let me just pull it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that does work.
If I had like 4a plus 6a, see I can just like pull the a out of both of them?
Yeah.
Same thing here. I'm going to pull the x out, and now I get 144m minus 8 equals 288m minus 819. Okay?
Yeah.
Divide, right? X is equal to 288m minus 819 over 144m minus 8. Okay?
It's quite wonky.
It is quite wonky. These are almost together. They're off by a factor of 2. That's cool. Yeah. Okay. Did I do that right? Yeah, I did that right. Okay. So technically, x has a lot of solutions, right? X can be all these things. It can be this for like many values of m. But there's one value of m that it can't be. Do you know what that is? So we say like x can be all real numbers except for when this bottom is equal to 0. So whenever m causes this to be 0, that breaks it. We don't like that, okay? So x can be basically anything except and one sec here. Can it be anything? Wait, because the limit as like m approaches infinity, that becomes 2. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. This is a cool function actually. X can't really be anything. Yeah, X has a horizontal asymptote actually. It has an asymptote at x is equal to 2. That's cool. But also, right, yeah. M cannot equal 8 over 144. Because if it does, okay, then these cancel and you get 8 minus 8, which is 0, and that's bad. Don't want to do that, okay? So, we say that x can be all real numbers, except x will not equal 2, and x will not equal, or that's it. Just x will not equal 2. That's it. Yeah, actually, sorry, this is it. Yeah, and there's a restriction on m. M cannot equal 8 over 144, right? Yeah. Actually, yeah. When you look at this is cool. This graph ends up looking something like this, Teacup. Something like that. I believe. Someone tell me if I'm wrong. I think that's what it looks like.
I think that it would look like.
Yeah. Yes. And so, x can be all these values, but it just can't be that, just equal to 2. All right, cool. Does that make more sense?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Nothing on my screen board.
Who is the new guy?
Ramit, the guy that was teaching.
Yeah.
Ramit. Yeah, he's a cool guy. He found us on our Discord. He found us on the Discord. And he's expressed interest in. How'd you find us? How did you find us? Actually, yeah, you can explain yourself to Teacup.
Yeah. I think I found you off of Twitch.
Oh, he found us off of Twitch. That's dope.
Yeah. Like I was planning to kind of do kind of a similar thing, and then when I hopped on, I saw you. So then I was like, oh,
nice.
Cool. Someone's
yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, Ramit was I guess he was looking.
Dr. Silver.
Dr. Silver? Oh, that'd be kind of funny. Yeah, maybe we could give him a Dr. Silver role. I've never done collaborative teaching on this stream yet, but it is something that I've always wanted to do. I've even wanted someone to take over just for certain days.
See,
that,
how about you still do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but he can do Tuesday and Thursday?
Exactly. Yes, that's what I would like to maybe work towards. Yeah. So this is like kind of like we're kind of doing like little pilot things to because I don't know, Ramit, do you have much experience with like streaming and like teaching yet?
Teaching, yeah. I mean, I still do it on like probably daily basis at least.
Nice.
But in terms of streaming, you might have to like hold my
I can
hand
help
for
you
a
there.
few
Yeah,
times
teacups. Yeah,
and-
teacup. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's what I really like about this is because like you are obviously very smart, Ramit. You're obviously a very good teacher and whatnot.
Thank you.
And it's just it definitely helps to get the streaming. We say like to get your sea legs, to get your streaming legs down by just like I like this idea of like just like collaborating on some things.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah.
Let me specify. Gold doesn't want to deal with us anymore, so he's making me.
No, I'm fine dealing with you guys. Y'all my kids, dude. It's all right. Y'all good. It's but I would like to there's only so much of me. That's at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I only have so much time, unfortunately, in this world. And so if I find other like-minded people who are enthusiastic and want to try to do the same thing, I am 100% there to support that and that's what I want the whole actual education platform to be. That's what I've written in all the nonprofit grant proposals and everything. They're all like, "Oh, how are you going to do all this?" I'm like, "It's not going to be just me. I would like to get other like-minded people and provide like a platform for them to interact with other students and help. That's what we're doing."
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I welcome you with open arms. I'm actually the owner of this server. Don't know if I told you.
Teacup is an OG. Teacup's been extremely helpful with a lot of things. Yeah, I do appreciate you, Teacup.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm actually about to help Dora, but they haven't messaged me back.
I appreciate that too. Yeah. No, if you can, he needs help with Blender. If you can help him with Blender, yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah. But okay, cool. All right, I got well, I probably got 40 minutes to play Warzone. So yeah, let me end the stream out here. All right. Thank you everyone for coming to office hours. Had a lot of fun learning with all you guys. I learned too. I learned too today. Special shout out to Ramit for helping us out here with these questions. That was super dope, man. I appreciate that. We'll
have a new surgeon too.
Having me.
We will. Yeah, I'll talk to you after all this. Like moving forward, I have some ideas with this. This is cool.
Let's make
this
him
is working.
Surgeon Silver.
Surgeon Silver. yeah, we can do it. I mean, whatever he wants to be, All right, let me see.
Let's call him Whamit.
Let's see. Okay. All right. So if you guys have been, staying with us on the stream and whatnot, what we also do is we play video games. We like to play video games. I like Warzone, and that's what Wednesday is. Wednesday's for Warzone. A lot of the reason people probably ask, they're like, wait, what are you doing with gaming and like a math stream? Well, I mean, the majority of the students in this Discord, the way that we find students and student find us is really through gaming. Like we originally started this Discord hosting just like little tournaments and whatnot, and we kind of blend the video gaming with the education. And I think what it does is it taps into a demographic of students that like are sometimes hard to like reach. Like gamer kids usually don't want to like do math and science stuff, but like we're able to reach them.
What do you mean? I have a 99.67.
You do, but not everyone does. Not everyone. I'm not saying that gamers are dumb, but I'm just saying that like it helps us tap into an audience. I think that other traditional education platforms do not. Like Khan Academy exists. I can never compete with Khan Academy. They got billions of fucking dollars and like they produce great content and they have an awesome platform. But talking to a lot of other students and whatnot, like when they try to use Khan Academy, they either think it's boring or they just don't even know to even get help. They don't even know to want to get help. So we kind of show gamer kids like, hey, school is cool, math is fun, whatever, and like here's how you can get some help with it. And it's a trust.
Well, I actually have two things about that.
What's up?
In terms of the gamer smallness thing, they're pretty small. Most of them actually are. and they're
Mhm.
like really good at strategizing that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. My second thing is you should totally let me manage the next tournament, but you still pay for everything.
I am working on getting. We need prizes, is what we do. I can't personally fund another like $1,000 of prizes. Like, so I have to get someone else to pay for them. So that's
Oh
that's
no,
that's
I should still manage it though.
You can't. I mean, yeah, if you want to, yeah. You know, again, again, this Discord is not for me. I didn't create this Discord for me. I created this Discord for you guys. So like, if y'all want to run the ship and whatnot with different parts, I'm more than happy to do that. And it's actually a twofold benefit, because what it does is it teaches you guys leadership, and like it taps into
Yeah.
you know, a lot of, they call this hidden potential. Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Awesome.
Also, one
Yeah,
thing
what's
to
up?
add based on one thing you said, I think the thing with Khan Academy is that it's not interactive.
Correct.
Khan
Right, so, like,
Academy is interactive. It pretty much gives you a video, and then you immediately have to do questions.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not
Like,
one
I
on
think
one.
that
It's not like this, you know.
You can't ask questions. You kind of just watch video and hope they explain it.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I think going back and forth, that's some of the things that I think teaches people the most about kind of like trying to like understand concepts. Because
Mhm.
like if you ever come up with any questions, like even when I was like self-studying, I had to like go on Math Exchange or Stack Exchange.
Oh,
to
Stack
kinda, like,
Exchange,
ask
yeah.
questions.
Yeah. And
So,
I mean,
so I think that the interactive aspect of this is like one thing that has over something that is just like like recorded videos.
yeah, just
So I
baked
think
in.
that's the kind of aim that we can have to be more unique. Aside, I mean, it could also reach out to other people who just want to like learn math or
Sure.
but I think the cool thing is like it's kind of finding a nice intersection of like fun and education, which is like definitely important. I feel like
Yeah.
it's typically math and physics get a bad rap of like
Yeah.
being boring.
They're just
But
like
there's a lot of
nerds.
like building friendships. Yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, I'm taking AP Human Geography next year.
That's cool.